Hello and welcome to another Flash 8 video tutorial. In this video we're going to cover changing the text direction and orientation. To that end we're going to teach you how to create vertical text. We're going to teach you the left to right vertical versus the right to left vertical. We're going to teach you how to take existing text boxes and change them to either vertical or horizontal. And then we're going to teach you how to rotate characters. So if you're following along to this video, open up your Flash. And then you want to go create new Flash document or file new Flash document. OK. In this lesson we won't be needing the palette, so we're going to minimize that section. And we won't be needing the timeline, so we're going to go Windows, Timeline. And that should leave us with a nice bit of stage and offstage, as well as the properties inspector. Okay, so if you've just been learning the basics of text, what you're probably used to is drawing a text box and typing in some text. Okay, and the result is it's always horizontal. But if you look on your properties inspector, right to the end of the alignment and justification options is change orientation of text. There's two options here. There's vertical left to right and vertical right to left. So let's examine how each of these work. So I'm going to click vertical left to right. And I'm going to create a text box, but you'll notice now I can't, as I scroll horizontally, it's not increasing the size of the text box, but as I scroll vertically, it is. So now I'm going to type in vertical left to right. So as it runs out of space, it creates another line to the left, or sorry, to the right. So it's going from the left to the right. So let's try the other direction. So I'm going to go to my change orientation of text, vertical right to left, and I'm going to type in vertical. I'm going to hit enter, okay, right to left. So this one is taking the text, and as it runs out of space, it goes to the right. Sorry, to the left. So vertical, right to left. One more left space, one more left space. As opposed to the first one, we went vertical, left to right, so it kept on adding to the right. And it's really that simple. So let's just pretend we want to take this and turn it into vertical text instead of horizontal. Okay, so I have that text. I'm just going to use my selector tool. Take my property changer and go vertical left to right. Now I can resize it. Notice I can't resize it horizontally anymore. Okay, so I'm moving my mouse to side. I can't resize it horizontally. But as I give it more space, okay, now it's making it more vertical. I want this vertical. Now might be a good time to talk about alignment when you're working vertically. So if I click on this text box, I have alignment options just like I did when I was working with horizontal text. So currently it's aligned to the top, but if I align it to the middle, it might look a little nicer. Align to bottom obviously changes the way that looks, versus justify, which is try and fit it in end to end. Okay, I'm going to take my vertical left to right. If I align to middle, looks a little kind of nicer. Align to middle, again, looks a little nicer. Now aesthetically, you might have good reasons to have vertical text with vertical letters, but for various applications, if you're going to go vertical text, what you really mean is to slant the letters onto their side as well. And for that, you're going to need to know how to rotate the letters so that they're at a 90-degree angle and where they should be. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to grab any one of the text objects that you've got on your screen, and you'll notice that there's this rotation button. So if you click the rotation button, it alters all the characters to match your direction. Okay, so we have vertical right to left. I'm going to hit the rotation. Likewise, I click any of these, it rotates all the letters. So now I have kind of perfectly 90-degree angled text. You'll also notice that it, since it's all centered, if I change the alignment, say align the top and then change the, actually get my mouse in there, and because I had a hard carriage return between from left to right vertical. Okay, something's not cooperating with me, but we're going to proceed anyways. So I've got vertical right to left, left to right vertical, and I want this vertical, and now all the letters are perfectly aligned, okay, according to the direction that I went. So for those of you who watch some of my other videos, you may be thinking creatively too, because this isn't the only way to get my text vertical. What I could also do is use the free transform tool. So I'm going to take my text tool, I'm going to make sure that I'm horizontal. Whoops. So I got a horizontal text tool, and I can create the text box. Is there another way? And then what I'm going to use is this free transform tool. I'm going to wrap around the text that I want transformed, and I'm going to use rotate and skew. And around the corners, you're going to see my mouse turn into kind of a half circle there with an arrow at the end. And I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to rotate the text. There we go. Use my selection tool and just pull it in. So there we have another way to get that perfectly vertical text. What you can also do with this, I'm going to go back into the free transform, is you can rotate it all the way around. So now we have letters traveling up instead of letters traveling down. And change the alignment so it's about the same. Okay, so that's two different ways to change the text itself, as in the characters, from vertical to horizontal. If you're going to use that free transform method, just be good and sure that you only select the text that you want, and also be good and sure that you're not actually modifying. Make sure you're not like skewing it in any way, because then you're going to get all sorts of messed up, and it's not going to necessarily match the properties that you have down here. Another thing to watch out for if you're using the free transform method is if you actually resize it, the letters will get bigger and it won't match your actual text properties. Your text will still think it's size 20 even though it's kind of been skewed a bit. Okay, so you have the choice there between using free transform and just grabbing a text field that's already vertical and saying rotate characters or not. Okay, but just be careful if you decide to use the free transform method. So in this video we covered creating vertical text, the difference between left to right versus right to left vertical text, changing existing text boxes to vertical or horizontal, and rotating characters. And we showed you two different ways of doing that. So I hope that's useful for you, and I hope you come by and watch some later videos.